Year 2, welcome back to our next maths lesson of the week. It is Wednesday the 24th of June today, and we're carrying on learning about fractions, and today we're learning more about quarters, and we're going to be showing quarters. Okay, let's start by marking our work from yesterday. So question 1, we needed to circle the pictures that show half of the shape shaded. Now we know if we're looking out for 1/2 that there needs to be 2 equal parts in the whole shape. So this rectangle has 2 equal parts and one of those is shaded. So this one is showing me half of the shape shaded, and so is this one down here. Half is shaded because 1 out of the 2 equal parts has been shaded in. The other 3 shapes here, we can clearly see that the 2 parts are not equal, so they are not showing us the fraction 1/2 of the shape. Number 2, circle the pictures that show 1/4 of the shape shaded. Now hopefully we remembered that when we're looking out for a quarter, the shape needs to have 4 equal parts rather than 2. So this one I can see has 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts and 1 is shaded in. So that one's showing me 1/4, and so is this one here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts, 1 has been shaded in. The other shapes, let's have a little look. This shape here with two triangles in the rectangle is showing me half shaded, so it's not showing me 1/4. This one is also showing me half of the shape shaded in because 2 parts out of 4 parts are shaded. You may have decided that this shape here is showing me 2/4, and you would be right because 2 out of the 4 parts are shaded, but 1/2 is the same as 2/4. Really well done if you spotted that when you were doing your work. And this one over here, the parts are not equal. And your second page you completed yesterday, you needed to colour the shapes below to show 1/2. So we needed to colour in 1 part out of the 2 equal parts. You could have coloured the same as you can see here in red, or you could have coloured this part as well because they are the same. And B, you should have coloured in half of the shape, 1 part out of the 2. Number 4, you needed to colour the shapes below to show 1/4 or 1 out of 4 equal parts. So you could have coloured in any of those 4 parts on that rectangle, and in this triangle, again, you could have coloured in any of those parts, but it should only have been 1 part coloured in to show 1/4. Really big well done, everyone. So today you're going to need your 2B workbook again, some paper, a pencil and your partner. Right, let's have a look at our in focus. So on this slide you can see a picture of a waffle, but this is only one part of a waffle. I want to know if you can imagine how many equal parts the waffle has. This is only one part of it, remember. Pause the video and have a discussion with your partner. How many equal parts do you think the waffle has? So we can imagine what the whole waffle looks like by extending the curved part of the quarter circle. So I'm going to try my best to very neatly carry on the curved part of that circle. It's not going to be perfect because I don't have a circular shape to draw around, but I'm trying my best. It gives you an idea. You can imagine what the whole looks like by extending that curved part of the quarter circle. Now, as I said, it's not a perfect circle, but this might help us to figure out the answer to this question here. If the quarter circle is one piece of the waffle, so if this is just one piece, how many pieces are there all together in the whole waffle? So, hopefully you said to your partner that there are 4 equal parts. And if we had the whole waffle in front of us, it would look like this. So they've, just like I did, they've extended that curved line to make a full circle, and there would be 4 equal parts. Now the name of each part is a quarter or a fourth. And we learned about that a little bit yesterday too. Now 3 parts were eaten. So 3 parts out of 4 equal parts of the waffle was eaten. So not only 1/4 was eaten, but 3/4 of the waffle was eaten. So I wonder if we could we could show 3/4 of a square, like this square over here. How could we show 3/4 of a square? Pause the video and have a chat with your partner about how you would show 3/4 of that shape. And remember, if we're thinking about quarters, try to remember how many equal parts the square is going to need to have. So, I have shown 3/4 of the square by drawing 1, 2, 3 horizontal lines, and that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. And I've coloured in 3 of them. I wonder if you could tell your partner now how we could show 3/4 of a rectangle, like this one here. Pause the video and have another go. You could fold a paper rectangle if it helps you, or you can shade it like I did with the square. So, I have shown 3/4 by drawing vertical lines this time. I drew 1, 2, 3 vertical lines, which gave me 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. And again, I've shaded in 3 of them to show 3/4 of the rectangle. Are there other ways? Perhaps you came up with a different way of showing 3/4. As long as your rectangle has 4 equal parts like mine, and you've coloured in 3 of them, then you're showing 3/4. Okay, so in your guided practice today, you are being shown this blue rectangle, and it tells you this rectangle stands for 1 or 1 whole. Then it asks which of these shows 3/4. You've got 3 options here to pick from. Question 2 says, which of the following show 3/4 of the square shaded? I'm going to give you a very helpful hint here. Remember, it's really important that you're looking out for equal parts so that the correct fraction is being shown. This shouldn't take you too long. This should take about 5 minutes. Pause the video and have your best go. Okay, so let's have a look and see how we got on. Which of these shows 3/4? Now, I know if I'm thinking about quarters that my shape needs to have 4 equal parts. So let's have a look. This one has 1, 2, 3 equal parts. It can't be that one. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. Are 3 shaded in? 1, 2, 3. Yes. So that one's showing me 3/4. This one here has got more than 4 equal parts, hasn't it? It's got 7 equal parts. So that is not showing me 3/4 either. Number 2, which of the following show 3/4 of the square shaded? Again, I'm looking for shapes that have 4 equal parts, 4/4. And 3 of them need to be shaded. So we should have ticked this one and this one here. In the other shapes, in the other squares, the parts here, actually in this one, are equal, aren't they? But only 1 is shaded, so that's showing me 1/4, not 3/4. And here, the parts aren't equal, and here the parts aren't equal either. Well done if you managed to do all of those. Okay, so your independent work today is in your workbook, and you're working on page 99 and 100. And on the first page, it asks you to circle the pictures that show 3/4 of the shape shaded. So just like you did in your guided practice, remember to look out for those equal parts again. In question 2, you need to match the shape, the fraction that's being shown on the shape, to the correct words for that fraction. So you've got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. You need to look really closely at the shapes over here to decide which is showing you which of those fractions. And I'm just going to talk about your challenges now, so good luck everybody. There are 2 challenges again today. The first one is a true or false challenge, and it says 1/4 of the shape is shaded. Explain your answer. Is it true or false? Look closely and write an explanation sentence if you think it's true, and write an explanation sentence if you think it is false. So use your learning we've been doing about fractions this week to help you. The second challenge asks you to draw lines to divide the rectangle into quarters. Use the dots to help you. For that one, you need to think very, very carefully about what quarters are. How many equal parts should a shape have if it's been shared into quarters? Best of luck, Year 2.